Good morning. This is Spacewalker at the Spacewalker Race Shop in Vale, North Carolina. Yesterday I concluded some tests that show me some very surprising results while developing new batches of oil. As some of you that may have visited my site or noticed that the old oil or current oil, which I still have a small supply of that I've been using to race with the last few months, I had to take it off the site for sale because I just had a limited amount left and I didn't want to run short for myself. That's what we have here in this bottle. This is the same bottle that I sell on my website. Anyway, that morning before I had got my track set up, ready to do the testing on the new batch of oil, there's a pound of tricox and there's a pound of tricox, and they've both been mixed, and the results indicated some unusual results. And there may be a speed secret here. Those of you that are using the Spacewalker oil, this might be a speed secret for you. Well, I've had my wife and I, we sit out on the back porch and watch the skies and watch different things that's going on in the sky. We watch the moon move around and move between two planets, Venus on the bottom and another planet on the top. Well, the moon moves around in different positions in the sky, and one morning it was exactly in the middle of Venus and this other planet, which I took a photo of, and also occasionally you see a shooting star, and of course you know what you're supposed to do when you see a shooting star is make a wish. Well, I was ready to test the new oil, so I made a wish that the new oil was at least as fast as my current oil that I was selling. So I said, I'm ready to test now, so I made my wish. You'll see this on my website, the test that was done. With the current oil, I ran two tests, the first one and then again a second one to make sure my process was working. Simply what I did is I have a new car that I'm working on, a new limited car, with 4 fenders and a guide pin, which is the same body and same setup as Bad Habit that I ran at the August 4th race. To make sure the test was fair as possible, I left the front dominant wheel tuned the way it was and didn't change it, and it was lubed with the old oil, current oil. So the first test I lubed, I cleaned these wheels are not polished. There's no the bores are not polished. There's no polishes or anything. They're strictly out of the bag, the Evolution limited wheel. So that would take that equation out. There would be no reprep and new polishes added. So it's just a basic wheel. All I did for each test was to clean the bores out and apply new oil to the axles and insert the axles. So that was done. And the results of the first test was 2.933. Oh, good. So, I have something to work with. So I ran the second test. I took the back wheels off, cleaned the bores, still didn't polish them, didn't add any polishes, didn't clean the bores. All I did was re-oil the axles after cleaning the axles and reinserting them back in the wheels. And then the axles were marked with a little nick, so I could there was no tuning of the rear axles involved to change the results. So the axles and the wheels were replaced in the same location on the car. This is the right rear. I picked the right rear wheel and oil it, put it in my car, and get the car ready to do the second test. The reason for the second test was to make sure that the test results was going to be accurate from one run to the next. The front wheel was aligned up against the rail, so the staging would not make a difference. In the back of the car, the right rear was lined up with the right side of the on the track, right on the rail. So I tried to make it as fair as possible. I don't want to be selling anything that's not as good as it was, and I wanted this test to be accurate. So the second run on the current oil, the old oil, the average was 9.32. There was 1/1000th difference in the two runs on the average. Oh, cool, I say. So I went to test the new oil out of this mixed batch, going through the same process, unprepared bores and no polish in the wheels, cleaned the axles, cleaned the bores, applied the new oil, and the first test came out 2.92. Oh, I said, that's shooting star. It was lucky for me. And then I did a test 2, and it was 2.917. And then I did a test 3, which average was 2.92. This is an average over on each test and each run of 10 runs each. And then I thought, this don't seem like I need to test to make sure that shooting star was accurate and give me luck. Now here is the speed secret. If you're anything like I am, probably not many of you are, I have a tendency, because I prepare a lot of cars for each race. I'm retired. I do a lot of track testing, car building, but I have to admit I made this mistake, and certainly try not to make it again. But what I found out during the first test of the current oil, the average is 2.933 and 2.932. There's a problem there, and the oil was not getting, the instructions say to shake well. Well, it wasn't shaked well in those first two runs. So I ran 2 more runs, and the results of those 2 tests was 2.920 and 2.920, exactly the same on a 10 passes on each test of the current oil. And the difference being this, and remember this, and remember to try to do it, as I will, don't get in a hurry, don't rush this process, is take your oil, and to make sure you've got it shaken up, I would recommend shaking it for at least 30 seconds to a minute. That was the difference. The average, like I'll mention, on current oil, first time I did it, the oil apparently was not shaken up well enough. The average is 2.933, and on the second pass it was 2.932. That dropped it by shaking it from those numbers to 2.920 on 2 different 10-pass runs. So then that makes the old oil, current oil, as compared to the new, almost exactly the same. 2.920 is what I would expect to get if I cleaned the axles, cleaned the bores, reassembled the car with the new oil or old oil. I think I'm getting, my test shows that I'm getting the same results. I would certainly not say that my oil is the best there is. I never say any of my products are the best they are. I'll let my racing results speak for themselves. Thank you, and I hope you will try the Spacewalker oil and feel assured that the new oil, the new batches, are as good as the old. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye.